on? How you doing?
That's it's gonna be fun. That's why we play the game. Yeah, you like that? That was good. And that was a good one. You can't get that anywhere else. Yeah. It's not. It's not because we got a lot in on Tampa going up 3-0. We got a lot on that money line, and yeah. And Florida's only got 7 shots on goal too. And yet Tampa has not found the back of the net. And who did you say got the first goal for Florida or the second one? Wow. There you go.
Of the money line every week. And on the Twin Spire Sportsbook, if you think that Tampa Bay might come back in this game and push Florida to the brink of elimination, you can get the Lightning right now at plus 265. So the Lightning plus 265. And you know the Lightning can strike quickly. They have done that in this series already, both in game 1 and game 2. So something to keep an eye on as the first period goes along, that if they don't score, that number is just going to continue to climb, and maybe you get some good value. But that's if the Tampa Bay Lightning actually make a comeback in this game, as I see Chase McCabe on Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube, apparently, potentially making a live money line bet with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Is that that was me last night, and tonight I'm not going as crazy, but last night was a little bit of a crazy night for me, and it was a pretty good night. Wasn't great. Um, I do have a small beef with John Morant, who so the Grizzlies -4 against the Spurs. They're leading 99-96 with like 8 seconds to go. John Morant goes to the line, and he hits the front end of the rim on the first free throw, and he sinks the second. I've got Grizzlies -4. So I don't know whether or not to be, and the final score is 196 after Rudy Gay misses a last second three. I don't know whether or not to be like happy that John Morant made one of the free throws to at least push, or whether I should be mad at him for not hitting both free throws, which if he had done that, I would have won the bet. I pushed.
A push is not a loss. So
Right.
that's what I always tell people. A push is not a loss. So
It's also not a win.
not a win, but it's not a loss. So you got your money back. You gotta. I mean,
Correct.
yes, you have every right to be frustrated because it was that close for you to win, but you also can't. You know, it could be worse. Let's just put it,
Yes.
it could be worse.
I just didn't know really how to feel last night as John Morant bricked the front end of the 2 free throws that he had. So I did that because of a Twin Spires promotion.
Okay.
So I've got a $15 free bet because of that, because there were 15 3-pointers made in the Grizzlies Spurs game last night. So I put a $15 free bet on a parlay tonight in the NHL that would cash out at $32. We will see if that comes to fruition. That parlay is Leafs money line, Leafs Habs over 4.5, and then Islanders Penguins under 6.5.
Okay. I also have a free bet going.
Do you?
I do. I do.
Is it on Lightning?
Well, it
Oh no,
involves them.
this is your $10 mega
Yes.
parlay.
So this is a free $10 that I used. Braden Point to score.
Oh boy, here we
And
go.
every time I think about Braden Point, I hear Jared Stillman. Oh, Braden Point. Like, he loves Braden Point.
Oh, Brain Point. Mark Mathot. I love Mark Mathot.
Over basically Freddie Freeman to hit a home run. That's in there.
Okay.
Bo Bichette, 2 hits or more.
Okay.
All right. Austin Matthews, score a goal. It's usually pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I just have this feeling in my heart that it's going to come down to this.
Oh boy.
Preds fans, pay attention. Fifi, anytime goal scorer. Kevin Fiala.
Well, so all right. So what's the payout if you hit that $10 free bet?
1,484.
Whoo! Wow.
Yeah.
You've got a lot in action tonight, but if that hits, it doesn't matter what else.
If that hits, I would say I'm not coming in tomorrow, but I am because it's a game day. But there's a trip in my future with that.
Sure. So when you get free bets through promos, do you like try to go big and try to parlay that into something way beyond the amount of the free bet, or do you try to play it a little bit more safe?
Typically, I look at it like if you're playing blackjack and you have an ace and a 6, which is a soft 17, like you can get a free hit if you want it. Like you have a free hit. So I kind of look at it like that, if I got this free money to play with, I might as well go for it. Now, like tonight, I know is a long shot, but typically I'll try and put together some sort of parlay or take a long shot bet single and, try and make a lot out of it. So, I think with free money, you got to go for it.
I would agree with you. Now, speaking of promotions on Twin Spires, I've got a decision to make. Okay. I have been sweating this decision for like the last 5 hours ever since I noticed that this promotion is in play tonight. So on the Twin Spires Sportsbook app, which is my official sportsbook, there is the brick wall bonus in the NHL, which is you put $50 or more on a pre-match moneyline wager on Thursdays, and you'll receive $1 for every save made by your selected team's goalie in free bets. You don't have to win the bet to get the free bet. So you could win the bet and get the free bet and really be looking good there. So 2 games are already underway. I wasn't going to put it on the Lightning or the Panthers, and I wasn't going to put it on the Penguins or the Islanders. And the Penguins and Islanders are about to face off at Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. The Panthers are still leading the Lightning 2-0 in the first period of Game 3. So here's the debate. It's either Leafs money line, which doesn't have a great return, but I feel pretty good about at minus 215, or go with one of the 2 teams in the toss-up game, which is Vegas or Minnesota. And that is minus 110 for both teams. So it's either go with one that I feel pretty good about or roll the dice on Vegas or Minnesota. And here's why I'm leaning rolling the dice on Vegas, Minnesota. I feel more confident that that game is going to go to overtime, or could go to overtime more so than the Toronto-Montreal game, which then could drive up the price of the free bet.
Yeah. I tend to lean – this is good. I like this promotion. But I tend to lean to Vegas, Minnesota.
Okay.
Because I agree. So let me make sure I understand this. You want it to go to overtime?
No. Well, for the free bet.
Yeah.
Like, if it were to go to overtime, you get $1 of free bets for every save that your goalie
Right.
makes.
Okay, yeah. So that,
So so Cam Talbot could make 35 saves in regulation if I go with Minnesota, or Fleury with Vegas. But then it goes to, let's say, double overtime, then
Yeah.
that number could get up to 50.
I think there's going to be a lot of shots on goal in that game too.
And there have been in each of the first 2 games. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm torn between Vegas and Minnesota tonight. Game 3 in Minnesota. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. Minnesota wins game 1. Vegas wins game 2. It's been low scoring on each side. I can't make up my mind on whether to go with Vegas money line or Wild money line. I can't make up my mind.
Well, I mean, I know what I'd do. I'm trying to kind of.
Who would you go with?
Save. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to spill the beans. My lock of the night is the Wild.
Okay.
So
that is your lock.
That's my lock.
Okay, well, we just got your lock of the week out of the way in the first segment, didn't we?
Yeah, I have some others I like. That can be brought
You have
up.
a lot of bets tonight.
That's why I hesitated, because I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna give this away if I do this now, but yeah, I really like the Wild tonight.
Here is an option that I have thought of. I could go with Wild money line for this promotion as the Pittsburgh Penguins strike first to take a 1-0 lead over the Islanders. I could go with the Wild money line on Twin Spires and then hedge it with 50 on Vegas on another sports book and just get the free bet. Or just roll the dice on one team and sink or swim.
I say roll the dice. It's called gambling.
Roll the dice?
I say roll the dice and go Wild. Ride with your boy, take the Wild. Go Fifi.
I think I'm going to do it.
He's doing it. He's got the phone. He's going to the Twin Spires app, and he's making it happen.
I think I'm going to do it. It's the brick wall bonus on the Twin Spires Sportsbook app. And I have a gut feeling that Minnesota is going to win tonight. But the brain says Vegas, because Vegas on paper is the better team, but Minnesota's looked quite good in each of the first 2 games, and they're coming home.
Yep.
Which, at the end of the day, I don't know how much that matters.
Vegas is the better team in that series, and I think Vegas is going to win that series. I think that this one has 7 written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
But Minnesota has shown us through the first 2 games, because you can make the argument in game 2 in which Vegas won, they got outplayed. And they just won the game. But I think Minnesota wins this one tonight because they are returning home, even though I agree it's not what it usually is. Minnesota's also pesky. They beat Vegas, I think it was 5 times in the regular season.
Oh, this was a great season series between the 2 teams.
Yeah, so Minnesota is just that they're a pain in the you-know-what to Vegas. I think Vegas ultimately wins the series, but I like the Wild a lot tonight.
All right, I've done it. I'm riding.
Let's go.
Your money line pick of the Wild.
Let's go.
That's the way we're going. All right. I have never been a bigger fan of the Minnesota Wild than I am now. This is the money line powered by Twin Spires Sportsbook here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Ryan Porth, Chase McCabe here with you on this Thursday evening. We're on a Thursday and not a Friday because the Nashville Predators will be dropping the puck right about now, 24 hours from now, at Bridgestone Arena for Game 3 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Coming up next, it is our favorite segment of the week. It is Cash or Trash. I'll lay out 5 picks that I like, and Chase McCabe will tell me whether they are cash or trash. And we are going with NBA and Stanley Cup playoff, a variety of different picks coming up next on the other side. You're listening to The Money Line on ESPN 102.5 The Game, streaming on the Game Nashville app. Welcome back into the Money Line. Hey. Money Line is powered by Twin Spire Sportsbook. Ryan Port, Chase McCabe here with you on a Thursday evening and not a Friday evening because the Preds play the Hurricanes tomorrow night in Game 3 at Bridgestone Arena. Chase, let's update the NHL playoff scoreboard. The Florida Panthers still leading the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-0. That game is after one period of play. So at the first intermission, the Panthers lead the Lightning 2-0. Panthers need this one to get back into the series. And you could get the Lightning at plus 320 on the Twin Spire Sportsbook. Live money line odds there on the Tampa Bay Lightning if you think they will come back and win Game 3. And the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first period, just 6+ minutes in, the Penguins lead the Islanders 1-0. So the road teams having some early success in a busy playoff night around the National Hockey League. And that is where we will start with Cash or Trash. And we will start with the Colorado St. Louis series. So let's crank it up. The number one bet for Cash or Trash.
Number one.
So the Colorado Avalanche lead 2-0 in this series against the St. Louis Blues. And it feels like this series is already over. I mean, the Colorado Avalanche have completely blitzed the Blues in each of the first two games. They've scored a combined 10 goals in those two games. Nathan McKinnon's on fire. He has 7 points in the two games. Mikko Rantanen has 4 assists. The Avalanche are rolling. So my first bet in Cash or Trash is the series correct score of Avalanche 4-zip against the St. Louis Blues, which is at plus 120 odds on the Twin Spire Sportsbook. Chase, I'm picking the Avalanche to sweep the Blues. Is that Cash or Trash?
You need a broom. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
You need a big broom. This is absolutely 100% cash money.
Is it?
Because the Blues suck compared to the Avs. I mean, it's to this point where last week on Darren, Donick, and Chase, I forgot they even existed.
Well, this is true.
Which was pretty funny.
A great moment in DDC history.
I put that up there with, you remember when we did the cheap seats and Peter Laviolette had just gotten introduced and I said the Peter Laviolette era was over?
Yes. Coach Lavalamp, his tenure with the Preds is over.
Yeah. Mr. Lavalamp.
Mr. Lavalamp.
Yeah, I think the Avs are, it is funny because Vegas, everybody's penciled in, okay, Avs, Golden Knights, second round. One of those two teams is definitely going all the way. And Vegas has by far the harder road to go in the first round than the Avs, which, who knows? That could have reverse effects, but I think that the Avs sweep this.
I mean, Colorado could sweep. Vegas, Minnesota could go 7 games.
Yeah.
And those two teams could beat each other up, and then Colorado ends up having an easier than expected round 2 matchup because Vegas and Minnesota beat each other up.
Well, and you remember prime example of this a few years ago when Vegas went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. Who did they face in the Western Conference final?
They played Winnipeg.
And what happened?
7 hard-fought games against the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, and Winnipeg had nothing left. So
this is true.
But you can also make the counter argument that if the Avs sweep and they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs waiting for Vegas to get done, Vegas is in that rhythm. So you never really know.
Sure. All right. So you say the first bet of the night, Avs sweeping the Blues, is cash. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2.
A series that is getting underway in a matter of 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever exact time the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens drop the puck in Toronto for game 1. I'm going with Toronto minus 1.5 in the series spread. So on the Twin Spire Sportsbook, you can bet that in the series score, it's going to be minus 1.5 for the Leafs. Essentially, what that means is that the Leafs win in 6 games or less against Montreal. Those odds are at minus 140, which I really like those odds at 6 games or less. The only thing that's holding me back on it is that it's Toronto, Montreal in the playoffs for the first time since like the 70s. There's going to be a ton of pressure on Toronto to not only win this series, but win the cup because they have been that good all season long. But I'm going to say that Toronto, since they are the much better team, that they cover the series spread of -1.5. Chase, is that cash or trash?
This is a tough one that you have picked here, and you said you kind of struggled with it a little bit as well.
I paused for a second, and then I said I have to be smarter than this and just go with it.
I'm gonna say cash, but like I'm kind of hesitant, like you are.
Are you? For
Yeah,
the same reasons?
I'm on the fence. Yeah, because like so prime example, we saw Montreal last year, what they did. Everybody was like, Montreal, except for me. Everybody was like, Montreal, they're awful. And what they do?
They beat Pittsburgh in 4 games in the best of 5.
Right. So, and the fact that this is the battle for Canada. Like no offense to the other Canadian teams, but Toronto, Montreal, I mean, that is like the battle of Canada, if there ever was one. Because I mean, these are 2 teams that hate each other and just long time rivals, and the fact that they're meeting in the playoffs, I still think Toronto's the much better team. And also, as we talked to Elliot Friedman today on Darren Donick Chase, if Toronto loses this series or makes it close, like it's going to be bad.
Oh yeah. I don't think Austin Matthews is going to let that happen.
No, I don't either.
All right.
I don't think Jumbo Joe's going to let it happen either. He's going to have something to say about
it. If he doesn't, his beard will.
Yes.
All right. We move on to number 3, and we're moving to the NBA.
Number 3.
So the battle for the 8 seed tomorrow night in the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. It is a 4-point spread in favor of the Warriors. The Warriors losing a heartbreaker last night in LA, which is putting them in this situation, facing the Grizzlies, who beat San Antonio last night. This game is tomorrow night. I'm going with the Warriors minus the 4. And it pains me to say that because I will admit I am a bandwagon Grizzlies fan. When they're doing well, I will root for them. When they're not doing well, I probably won't pay much attention to them. With Ja Morant, I have been paying more attention to the Grizzlies than I have in the last 5 years. But I just cannot see Steph Curry letting the Warriors lose this game. And I think they pull away with some free throws in the last minute or 2 of this one. They beat Memphis, I think it was by either 12 or 13 points on Sunday, to get the home court advantage for this game. Steph is hot, 46 Sunday, 37 last night, Warriors minus 4. Is that cash or trash?
So I'm looking at covers.com, which now has it at 3.5. So that's interesting.
Okay.
On this one though, you know, we've both been producers. When we pull that little knob down, that's called a fade. I'm gonna fade you. I say trash.
Oh,
I want those 4 points.
Okay.
You're laying the 4 points. Rebel wants the 4 points. Well, he's up here to let me know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say trash. Give me the Grizz.
Well, I hope you're right, and I hope the Grizzlies money line hits tomorrow night, because that would mean the Grizzlies are in the playoffs.
Money line is plus 145.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think Steph and the Warriors versus Utah in round 1 would be great theater. But we'll see.
My man Rick says Warriors are going to blow out the Grizz plus the over.
Oh, all right.
So I'm fading both of you.
All right. We will see who comes out on top on that one. The over under for that game is 221.5. I might like Rick's call there. We'll see.
I like the over.
We'll see. The line on Twin Spires has changed to 3.5. So this would have changed here in the last 20, 30 minutes. So So does that mean I get 3.5, or since I said 4, it's 4?
Well, I want 4.
Okay. Well, I want 3.5. We'll go with 4.
I know you.
Boards play. Warriors -4. We'll see tomorrow night who's right. All right. Speaking of 4, we move on to number 4.
Number 4.
In the Eastern Conference Round 1, a rematch of a playoff series from the bubble last year, the Milwaukee Bucks against Robbie Stanley's Miami Heat. And I am going big on Bucks -1.5 in these series spread, just like I did with the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Habs. I'm doing that for the Bucks. The Heat just stomped the Bucks last year in the bubble. I think the Bucks get revenge in a big way, and they win this series in 6 games or less. The Heat, they don't seem to have the same mojo like they did last year, and I think the Bucks, because of the playoff series last year, have a chip on their shoulder, maybe even a buck on their shoulder. Is this cash or is it trash?
Boo you. Yeah, does Robbie know that you're picking this? Like, is he
I informed him either this morning or yesterday morning that I was going to do this.
And what did he have to say about that?
He did not deny the possibility of this happening.
So I'm gonna go cash. I agree. I just don't think the Heat are the same Heat that they were a year ago. And now I don't want to say pressure, but maybe a little more pressure on Giannis and the Bucks to make a run of it. And so
Sure.
I think you're right. And I think revenge is going to be on their mind too. So I would agree. I think cash.
All right. We move on to number 5.
Number 5.
Back to the Western Conference. The banner series of round 1, LeBron James and the LA Lakers taking on the Phoenix Suns. Poor Suns. I mean, the Suns have this breakout season. It's their first playoff berth since 2010. They win 51 games. They had one season above 500 since 2010. I mean, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. It's a great team. But do you really think the Lakers are going to lose this series? Do you really think the Lakers are going to lose this series? Do you really think LeBron and AD are going to let this happen? I say no. Lakers -1. They are the 7 seed, and they are the favorite in this series against the Suns. Give me the Lakers -150. Chase, is that cash or is it trash?
So here's a nugget for you.
Not the Denver Nuggets.
Not the Denver Nuggets. William Hill had the Lakers at -300, and it's moved to -150. So that's interesting.
Very interesting.
So I have changed my mind on this one since you gave me these to think about.
Okay.
I have shifted to cash. It was going to be trash. I was going to go Phoenix with I mean, not really the upset, but I guess in the series from, a betting point of view, it would have been. But now I'm with you. I just think LeBron and AD are going, nope. 7 seed or not, we're not losing this.
I mean, when's the last time LeBron got put out in the first round?
Has he ever?
We might have to look that up in the break. I'm surprised I didn't look that up before the show.
I mean, I don't think he ever has he? I
Maybe,
mean, I know they didn't make it. He's missed it completely before, but
we will have to look that up during the break. But you say that's cash, so you agree with 4 of my 5
I do.
picks.
Yeah, I do.
I think that's a record. I don't think you have agreed with 4 of my 5 picks in cash or trash yet. So we'll see who's right. It'll probably take a week or two for these bets to either win or lose. So we will see. We will keep score. We'll keep tabs on all of these for the first round of both the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs. All right. We are late to break. Coming up next, we've got parlays and we've got future bets. We've got more action on the NBA and the parlays and some baseball in the futures. That's all coming up next here on the Money Line. Chase McKay, Brian Porth here with you on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
I
You
decided.
didn't do it?
No, I didn't do it.
Chase.
I talked myself out of it. I mean, I got enough invested in Tampa right now.
This is true. This is true. You told me the amount during the break, and I do not blame you. So let's real quick fire through our parlays of the week. I'll start because mine is NBA related for tonight. And the Wizards taking on the Pacers, the winner of this game getting the 8 seed. I see your face.
Oh?
I'm going with a single game parlay tonight
Oh?
in this game. I am. So give me the Wizards minus 1.5 alternate spread as leg 1. Leg 2 is I know he's not at 100%, but give me Bradley Beal 30. Give me Bradley Beal 2+ made threes, and give me Russell Westbrook 12+ rebounds. It is
Interesting. Okay, so I did and I the over 238. Nice little, nice little turn. Same thing you did.
interesting. See, so is that your only parlay?
No, Wild money line minus 109.
All right.
And then tomorrow, Caps plus 135, Oilers minus 165. $20 wins you 213.57.
Whoa.
So I did a 4-teamer across 2 nights.
All right. We might I might have to ride that one. Even though the Leafs game has gotten underway in Toronto.